Welcome at Pizza and More. Do you sometimes have problems with stretching your dough so that the dough, when you try to stretch it, goes back like a chewing gum, for example? My name is Juergen and I show you now a few tricks how it works to stretch the dough easily. I give you some background information, what you have to avoid, what you have to think about, and then you will see the next time you try to stretch your pizza, it will be easy and it will work. The first thing to my dough I use today, I have a dough with a leavening time of only 12 hours. The problem was I was on a business trip which lasted several days and I came back only at midnight, so I prepared my dough this morning. I let it leaven, I let it rise for the whole time at room temperature. We have around 22, 23, 24 degrees or something like this. And I used a flour with a medium strength, which means I have a W value of only 260 and I used a water, so I used 67% hydration. I also have some lievito madre in my dough. You know the lievito madre. Lievito madre is a kind of an Italian sourdough. It's very dry, it's from wheat, and it's not that sour as the normal sourdough we normally have. This lievito madre can be also used for cakes or something like this. It's pretty great. How to create lievito madre, for example, I will make later on a video how this works, and then if you want you can create your own lievito madre, and then afterwards you will create a pizza without any yeast, only with lievito madre. But now a few background information to our problems when we stretch dough. One of the main things we have to consider is the kind of flour we use. If we have a very strong flour with a W value of 360, 380 or so a flour which is for leavening times over 24 hours, so up to 48 or 72 hours, this flour really is for longer leavening times because the gluten structure which is built in this flour or with this flour is very strong and very hard. So if you have with a strong flour only a leavening time of 8, 12 or up to 24 hours, it could be that the gluten structure is still too strong and you are not able to stretch the pizza because it always goes back. So you have to consider what leavening time do you have and how strong is the flour. And I would recommend up to 24 hours, medium or low W value, so up to W 280 or so, and then everything which is higher for leavening times over 24 hours. The next problem, what could happen is if you create your dough balls too short before you create your pizza. So if you create the dough balls only 2 hours before you make the pizza, there is not enough time for the ball to get relaxed and the dough will be stretched or is stretched and you have stressed and you have no chance to stretch the dough anymore. So it will then be very, very hard, and we make this a bit later. When I show you this, I show you we are a bit brutal to a dough ball and then we try to stretch it, it will not work. The next, what I said it's now already, is when we take the dough out of the box and we are not gentle enough to the dough ball, maybe we stress this ball because it sticks somewhere, we stretch it, we form it again, and then afterwards the dough is stressed and we have no chance to form a proper pizza. And what also could be that the dough is simply too cold. So if you have some of your leavening time in the fridge, which I would recommend to do this because it's easier than to handle the yeast and the time and so on. But if you take the dough out of the fridge directly and you want to stretch it, it's also very hard when the dough is cold. So I would recommend minimum 2 hours or 1 to 2 hours, it depends on the room temperature, before baking. Take the dough out of the fridge and let it get to room temperature, and then it's definitely easier to stretch the dough. This depends a bit on the temperature you have, on the room temperature. The colder it is, the longer this time should be. So if it's only 20 degrees or so in winter times, then you can take out the dough 4 hours, 5 hours before baking, and then the dough has the right temperature. There are the main factors for stretching the dough. The easier the dough to stretch is, the more water is in the dough. So if you have a hydration only of 60%, it will be definitely difficult. If you have a hydration of 70%, it will be super easy to stretch the dough. The next is, what I said already, is the temperature of the dough. And the next thing is the leavening time. If you have a very short leavening time and a strong flour, the dough will be hard because the gluten structure is too strong, or the leavening time is far too long, then it might be that the dough breaks. But now I would say, let's have a look onto the dough. So here is my dough. And now I would say I show you how we shouldn't do it. We take this dough ball and we are very rough to this dough ball, and then we try to stretch it, and then we try it with one of those, and I show how it works correctly with those. But now let's do it wrong. So don't do it like I do it right now. We take this dough ball out, and I'm definitely now not gentle to this dough ball. It sticks a bit. Then I take some semolina. Of course, this is what we have to do. Maybe the dough, when we take it out, has not the right form. And then I think, no, I want to make a pizza. The pizza needs to be round. And now I try to shape the dough ball new. And now it breaks already because it's too stressed. But okay, the dough is now ready. So now let's try to stretch it. And you see, when I press onto the dough, it goes directly back. Okay, it sticks. Take some semolina. I press it and you see it goes back, and we have absolutely no chance to make a pizza out of this dough ball, because this dough is now stressed. I have to shape it new, and then I let it rest for additional 2 hours, and then after 2 hours this dough ball can also be used to make a nice pizza. But at this time, you see, it's impossible to create a pizza out of this dough ball. I take this back into our box, and now I show you how you should do it. At first, take some semolina and put some semolina everywhere where this dough ball is attached to another dough ball, and on top of the dough ball as well, and also where it's attached to the side of the box. Then we take a spatula, we cover the spatula as well with semolina, and then we go on the side, we release the dough everywhere where it sticks to another dough ball. And here now you see we are very gentle. And now it's everywhere released. I take some more semolina on the bottom, and then I go with the spatula under. The dough ball, I lift it out, and then I put it into the semolina. The other dough will be closed. And then we continue with this one. We flip this now several times around in our semolina, and we are not pressing this ball now. We are only taking it very gentle, and we are flipping it around, and then we take it out. And if we have here some semolina, this is absolutely okay. should this dough ball now not be nice and round, we can shape it round with our fingers, but very gentle. We make here now a round shape. And as soon this has a round shape, we start forming the pizza. We take only our fingertips and we start pressing from the center towards the crust. We press all the air from the center towards the crust. What I show you today is how we create or how we shape a Neapolitan pizza. A Roman pizza or pizza bari style or so is shaped differently, not like this. If you feel the dough sticks here somewhere, take directly semolina, put semolina here, and then it stops sticking. If we have done it with the first half, we let around 1 or 1.5 centimeters crust, then we flip it around and we do exactly the same from the other side. And you can see I'm gentle to the dough. Okay, I'm pressing it, but I'm not stressing the dough. And you can see how easy it is to shape right now this pizza. If we did it now on the second side as well, then we can flip it again back and do it once again. We won't bring now the pizza to its final size. The final size is be done later on the pizza peel. If we see here are big bubbles, we can open these big bubbles directly because the big bubbles would burn in the oven. If we have it now here in this size, then we take it over our hands and then we are able to stretch it here over our hands. We take all the semolina away and then back to the counter. And you see, it's not like a chewing gum, it's pretty easy to stretch. Now it would be time to add at first the tomato sauce, then we would add some parmigiano or some grana padano, then some fresh basil, then the mozzarella cheese or the fior di latte or which toppings ever you want. Then if you have everything on your pizza, then you take your pizza peel, and here I recommend a pizza peel with holes because then you have not the problem that too much semolina is afterwards in the oven because the semolina would burn and a burnt semolina tastes bitter. Here for lounge it, we put some semolina onto the peel, then we lift here the pizza and then we go under. And you saw how easy it is to bring the pizza onto the peel. And then now at this time we would stretch the pizza to its final size, add everywhere ingredients where ingredients are missed, and then it's time to launch it into the oven. To do a check and before launching it, always try to, if it's released on the peel, if this is possible, then you are able to launch it properly into the oven. And you saw now it's not too difficult. Well, you need some practice, this is clear. You need to consider several things, but if you consider these things and if you do it like I did it now, you should be able the next time when you try to stretch your dough to make it properly, and you shouldn't have any more problems when the dough goes back. If you still have issues, then please write it into the comments and then I try to find a solution for your issue. If you like my video, it would be fantastic if you would subscribe my channel. And now it's time for making pizza. I wish you lots of success with stretching the dough, and I have to say ciao until the next video.